Good day, folks. It's Leonard again here from Facebook Arbitrage Magician. Now, what I'm gonna share with you guys is just an experiment that I did last night. I ran it for about eight hours, and to my surprise, this morning my click-through rate um, my click-through rate went up to 10%. Um, which is unexpected. Usually I'm consistently hitting 3.5 to 4%, but 10%, that's quite high. Uh, so I thought, okay, I better share this to the group, to fellow arbitrage magician, which a lot of them are still struggling, narrowing down the audience. This is not just me. I think this is everybody. This is our problem at the moment. It's just finding that audience, and Facebook is just a massive database. As I said from the previous video I made, you gotta know once you ask Facebook, you have to know your data, you have to know your audience. And so I did an experiment last night, and I combined two things, and I came up with this formula. First is the demographic, the research data I've done from my previous video, which I ran. I ran the campaign. I sold 11 units. Sorry, I sold 11 units and a couple of abandoned carts. And so using just the market research data and refine the ads out of the gate, I sold that. But it wasn't successful because I'm running I wish I was break even. No, I was a little bit lost. So I was making a little bit loss there. So I didn't pursue it. But I said let's test the data one more time and see if we can break this 3.5% CRT. I constantly hitting that, and in some case I'm hitting 4%. Now, now I said, okay, let's break that. See if we can break that. And I ran the ad last night, and to my surprise, it hit the 10%. And I said, okay, what happened here? And this is what happened. I remember I've used my research data. Um, to run my ad from my previous video. That's a part two. I ran that ad, and as I mentioned, I sold 11 units. And now, now the research data, it just tells me what are my audience. The data tell me, the market tells me that this is my gender population. This is the mean age of the population, the age, and this is the region where they're coming from. And out of there, I picked my sample of data to test. So out of the gate, I made some sales, no problem there, but it wasn't successful because the idea is at least 15 to 20. You got a sales at that range, then you have a winner. Well, I wasn't even I wasn't even hit the 15. I was 11 units. And I stopped the ad and run it again one more time. So I've used my demographic research data as a guide. Okay, the market tells me this is the guide, these are the people. Okay, now the second part of the equation is Facebook page, pan page. Now there are a couple of pages that are primarily caught my eyes. These two particular pages, pan pages. They have quite a large following. People are liking the page, commenting. So what I did was scrape. I scraped the people who liked it and commented, and and here's the problem with scraping of data. Um, all you get, all you get is a bunch of numbers. Okay, those numbers are simply the user ID. uh, people who commented and who liked the pages, and that's the problem with PanPage. Your target population is skewed. It's skewed by the age, by the gender, by the level of education, and the interest. Okay. When you scrape, if you scrape PanPage, all you get is just one large target population. But you still got to refine that. You still got to refine that by the age, by the gender, by the level of education, and by the interest. If you just scrape a page and run an ad, folks, I'm telling you it doesn't work because I've tried it before. I've already tried that, and you will only gonna smoke your budget because what's happening is if those people that are not in circle here are online and these are the wrong audiences and you run an ad on those and you have a very compelling image, it's just curiosity to them, they'll click on it and what happens, they will smoke your budget. So what you want is to target those audience within this target population. And what I did is simply apply the demographic, my research data as a guide. I use that as a guide and basically zero in my target population. Okay, zero in my target population, and I only want to market to those people. So this is the PanPage here. Okay, but I only want to market to those group of people there through my research data, through my demographic research data. I use that as a guide and refine my audience and market to those. Market to those. Okay, that's how I zero in, and then my CRT hit the roof. It hit 10%. Okay, out of 447 people who've seen the ad, 10% clicked on it. Okay, so my click-through rate is about 10%. So I'm not I'm not I'm not advocating out of the gate use a scraper to scrape the PanPage and then run an ad right away. It's not gonna work, folks. I've done that before. You're only gonna smoke your budget. Because that's what we do. That's what we do running Teespring. I've run Teespring before, and that's what we normally do. You just find a PanPage with lots of engagement, you scrape it, and run an ad. And but it doesn't work on Arbitrage Magician. It doesn't work on this business model because I've tried it and it simply bummed out. So don't try it. Don't even think about it. Don't try it. Now, here's what I recommend is using your market research data as a guide. Okay? Use that as a guide. Find your Facebook page and then refine it using your market research data. Refine it. What you will find is your audience shrink. It shrinks because it's based on your age, it's based on your gender. You're refining it based on the age, you are refining it based on the gender, you are refining it based on the level of education, you are refining it based on the interest. That's why it shrinks down. Once it's shrinked, you target that and you run an ad, and that's what I did last night. And it hit my click-through rate at 10%. I paused the ad because I want to refine my sales copy. I want to make sure that that I get it right. So I paused it. Now that's what happened. I've combined the two. The two usually those two are separate. People running either demographic or running uh, using PanPage, scraping that. But what I did this time, I combined the two into one and run an ad. Now, what I've used for a scraper is this tool. I've used that. I've used that tool to scrape the user ID and the comments of those people who commenting on those two particular pages. So and then I run an ad um, using my demographic data as a guide, as a metric, because the data tells me, the market tells me, those are the participant on the archery market. And then I wanna find those people in Facebook. That's what I did. I want to find those people on Facebook using that criteria, and I found a couple of pan page, okay, and I wanna market to those people. That's what I did. I want to market to those people who are based on the age, gender, level of education, interests, and I think those are particular areas that I've targeted. And so my recommendation here is simply first you gotta have a market research data that tells you those are your audience. Do not second guess this, because second guessing it's only gonna lead to frustration, and it will smoke your budget. So don't second guess it. Get a market research data and find your audience, and then go into Facebook, find a Facebook fan page, because those are people are engaging in Facebook socially based from that interest, okay, or based from that topic. And then use your demographic to fine tune it, okay? Use your demographic to fine tune it, and that's what I did. So, and I started with my demographic from this point on, and I've zero in to my audience. By the way, those dotted thing that you see on the map there, those are the places I visited in the U.S. Man, I love U.S. I love the country. Beautiful country. Nice people. I love the food. I love the cars. You guys build big cars there, big roads. I love the country, and I love the people. I visited I visited U.S. twice now, or three times the last 2 years, and yeah, so I'll be coming back. I'll be coming back next year. Um, it's a beautiful place. So fortunate enough to visit it, and yeah. So when you run your ad, if you're still struggling with your audience because you haven't studied your demographic enough, okay? If you haven't studied your demographic and run your ad, you end up with point zero zero CRT, or you never reach 1%. And I've seen that a lot on our group, Facebook group. Um, I've seen a lot all the time. People are posting, my CRT is this rate, this rate. My advice is study your audience first, and once you get to know the demographic, always target. This is the other thing. Always target people who are college graduate, because we want those people with high disposable income. We want those people with high disposable income that can afford to buy your product. Although we're talking about 10, 15 $15 or $20 here, but if if they buy two or three, it makes a difference. So always target those people with college level. And I think beyond, what I've noticed as well is beyond 50, 55, you don't get much traffic on those. I think 35 between 55 is a good range. Um, yeah, so if you have any question, hit me in the Facebook group. I hope you find this information useful. Certainly, I'm gonna run my ad like this just to narrow down my audience even further. Now, this is the thing. When you scrape your pan page and you use your market research data as a guide, your audience will shrink. Mine shrank to, it shrank from 90,000. I think it's about 40,000. I think it shrank to 1,200. But my CRT, it went to the roof. Now it tells me these are the real one. These are the real, audience that you will likely to sell products. So um, so just make sure that you have enough. The size of your audience is big enough. to continuously run your ad for 3 or 4 or 5 days to have enough data to measure if your campaign is successful or not. So I hope you find this information useful, and I'll see you in the group.